Stream. Yeah, boy.
Bring us in, Harris.
Oh, yeah. Stay home.
Let's go, as they say on the internet.
That's what my son
All
says.
these
Let's
kids.
go.
Let's go.
Come on.
Let's go. Let's go, YouTube.
Yeah, we're doing this.
That's all the kids say.
What are the kids? It makes
Say
it
let's
sound
go.
old.
I don't know.
I thought they said yeet and full send.
Oh, they do.
I thought yeet and full send were the thing.
Eat
man.
is still in there.
Yeet or be
Don't eat.
yeet or be yeetin'.
Which I have to say, the wife says eat, and I'm like,
I don't know. Full send. Let's do this.
you're bringing back full send?
I am. It's never left. I don't
Everybody's
think.
saying eat though.
Yeet or full send. Who knows?
All the cool.
Well, you know what? We're not cool anymore.
I know that. This is true.
Actually, you got to move your mic in tiny, or either something, because I don't want your audio to drop out.
Dropping audios.
There you go. Or talk louder.
You gotta hear the yeetness.
You're in studio, man. You can talk louder.
Today.
All right, we're going live in.
Fire.
Let's do it. 10 seconds. We'll go live in 10. Let's go 5, 4, 3, and howdy!
What's up?
It is the 17th of March.
17th.
I always look at my watch at the beginning of the show, and like it sneaks up on me the date.
Like
but
you hadn't set up the stream.
yeah,
You just weren't sure.
yeah. And guess what? I know. Guess what? I didn't do. I didn't change the title screen. I now realize that I think that the title screen says the old show number. What number show are we on?
26.
Yeah, we didn't get that right. So if you're just watching, you just tuned in, by the way, pay zero attention to our title screen, which is our own title screen that we just screwed up.
These things happen. So, yeah. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Welcome. We got a full lineup for you today of Tiny Racing. We got some Gordon Murray stuff, and then Corey's going to talk about a couple other things. What are you talking about?
Well, you're gonna do. You're doing some racing and some cars, right? And I'm gonna revisit a subject about Nvidia.
Yeah.
And then actually, there's some pretty big news with Dub. Teased about.
What is
one of our
their
past
stock
shows about
at?
Power Day.
By the way, game stock's at 220. That's awesome.
What's Oh, well,
Let me see. Volkswagen is up to 40. It's up. Oh my lord. Nvidia. Let's see. Nvidia. I'm just checking these out here right now. I thought I had Nvidia on here. I don't know what
welcome,
Nvidia's.
everybody. Glad to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. I don't know. I have to check out Nvidia to see what their stock's at right now, but I can imagine it's probably not doing well because.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get to the bottom of that.
Again.
Well, they got their own issues going on, but anyhow, hey, it's a Wednesday. We got a couple other things to talk about, and I guess VW is more of a follow up on their strategy, which is interesting to see where they're going with their whole EV technology line, and that's more all encompassing, I guess, as a conversation as we move forward with other things.
Yeah.
Also, I guess we also have to say thanks again, everybody, for who's been tuning in on the new content and the new subscribers. They continue to grow. Fantastic growth. Really happy with that, guys. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. And again, hey, if you ever get a chance to drop into the live streams, remember, you can always talk to us live. We are interactive, and that's what we do. So if you have any more comments and anything that you want to comment on in any one of the show parts that we do, remember, leave a comment below. We love to hear from you guys and what you think. Yeah. Hey! And so we have a lot more things on the table for today. Also, on the not too distant future, we are right now looking at, a launch possibly coverage for Monday.
Is it early?
I think it's early. I think it's a 6 o'clock launch. It's a Starlink. It's a Falcon 9 Starlink. And, why don't you take a look at that one? So both of us aren't into our phones taking a look, because we're looking, I think, at a 6:51 p.m. launch window on Monday is what I remember reading. So we're looking to cover that. And the weather conditions here look to be excellent for Monday. However, off the coast for the recovery, because I believe this one is going to the drone ship. Just read the instructions. There may be some recovery issues with storms that might be off the coast. So I wouldn't be surprised if that window moved a little bit for the time of launch.
Yep.
And
so hot off the press, 22nd of March, 1819 Eastern.
okay.
Daylight time. Now they've switched.
Yep.
Instantaneous launch window. So that is the evening launch Monday off of launch. The same pad actually.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool.
And it's a Starlink. So yeah, they'll go
Cool.
keep track of it. We'll also keep track of the next Starship prototype launch. Here number 11. They're doing another 10-kilometer flight. Looks like it could be Friday.
You know what? It'd be good to see if they could stick the landing. It's really funny that actually, if you go and you search YouTube, there is a recap of the Starship 10 that went up. And it's funny because the recap's only 3 minutes long. Guess what it doesn't show?
The boom?
It doesn't show the boom. It shows the
like
landing.
9 minutes later.
Huh? Yeah, it was 9 minutes. Look, I get it, but I'm just saying it was kind of funny to me because as I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. You know, why?
They cut it out?
Yeah, they cut that out.
Well, you know.
Publicity. Why is it saying that the live stream is actually screen blank? Or is that just something that's coming? I'm monitoring the stream.
It looks fine.
Okay, good. All right, so maybe just something screwed up my browser because usually when I'm monitoring, I get to see exactly what. Oh, there it is. Hey, all I saw was our corner logo. I'm like, hey, the screen went dark. That's that. All right. Let's see. Where should we begin?
What we said we pick up.
So excited.
The game.
Okay. All right, here we go, folks. All right, so the deal with this is there is a new game on the horizon, and it's a racing game. Now, if you already don't know, if you're not large followers of the channel, Corey and I are racing. We like racing, but we're like specifically GT Continental Racing, most of the stuff that you see at the 24 hours of the Rolex. Matter of fact, we're also contemplating going to do something special, so keep tuned in for that. On top of that, I'm also an avid sim racer. You've seen probably the video below on the channel of my sim rig, which needs an update because there's been new components put on it. But however, we're also gamers, and part of that means that whenever there's a new game on the horizon that combines some of those passions, we'd like to take a look at it. And this one is Curcuit Superstars. And it looks like to be what it is basically, if you remember RC Pro-Am from back in the day on the old Nintendo, okay, there was this game called RC Pro-Am. And it was a top-down, three-quarters positioned racing game. Now, the difference with this one is, it is a pure racer. There's no power-ups. There's no additional features that you can possibly put on the car to make your car go faster, better engines. No green shells.
No blue shells. I see you people out there in chat. Right. No blue shells.
No, none of that. And the difference is this game is coming to you from, I believe this company currently is called, what is it? The Original Fire, okay? So we're just going to pop in now. There was the Art of the Rally, which is another game that I think we talked about here on the channel not too long ago. However, this game takes on a completely different tone in which it's all about the racing. Even though it's using this overlay of this micro sort of cutesy world, there's pit stops, there's fuel strategy, there's different classes, there's
tire wear.
Yeah, tire wear.
Different classes.
I said that already.
Oh, well, you know, I'm excited about it.
There you go. And when I looked at it, I was like, hey, and there's, of course, of all things, there is the different styles of racing that we enjoy, which is GT racing, and there's also truck racing and a whole bunch of different sport, like these old 1980 Formula One car style racing. And if you're a fan of like Motorsports Manager or something of that nature, this looks like to be one of those titles that might fit into your category of what you want to play, especially if you're the type of person that follows, say, like GT Racing. We're just going to pop in here for a second. Take a look. There's a great video trailer here, so we're just going to... Yeah, it's not too long. We're just going to let that roll here for a second, so just give us 1 minute, and you guys just sit back and enjoy. Catchy. Corvettes. Old Corvette. I think it just slides in the corners. All right, I could easily see that being one of the titles that I get super, super involved with.
Yeah.
That is no questions asked.
Yeah, it's so, as Mike's been talking, it's not your like hardcore sim, but it just looks fun. And again, as I said, you're not going to get blasted in the face by a random blue shell. Not that I don't enjoy that sometimes by providing the shell to people, providing the shell to... maybe blow up Mike as he's approaching the start finish line. But you get the idea. The game looks cool. It's an early access for if you PC out there. It's access on
And it's also coming out for the Xbox, the PS5, the Switch, and a couple others. And now there's a couple of caveats that they say that right now in early access, it's going through some problems, right? They say it's not 100%, and that's why it's early access. But it does offer multiplayer racing. It offers split screen racing. And I think that this would be an awesome evening of couch burning time with 4 people to check out this game.
I can easily see like certain communities on Discord and things setting up like leagues, custom rooms.
For sure.
My only question I didn't see anywhere, and if you guys know in chat, let us know. I don't see if it's cross-platform.
Oh,
that's a thing that's happening, these days with more multiplayer being a thing.
Sure.
On almost all games, and cross-platform is something that I just something that comes to a variety of different genres of games, and I just don't see it here anywhere. Platform.
I don't know if it is. I guess the thing would be is that now here's the challenges, right? Obviously, the challenges are if you're an avid racing guy and you take a look at the actual screens on this one, you might be thrown off by its cute appearance, right? And they go into mention specifically in this article that the fact of the matter is that despite its cute appearance, if you're not nailing your marks and you're not actually hitting the corners the way that you're supposed to, you will lose this game, and you will lose not handily, but you'll lose by a couple of tenths here, a couple of tenths there. It's all about the entry, the braking zone, and how the car actually feels. Which, again, if we harken back to games like Pro-Am, right? There's a couple others that I can bring to mind that have tried to enter this space and be successful, but they've always had that gimmick, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not really sure that gimmicks sell on this one. And if this is going to be for the hardcore racer that really just wants this kind of, average experience like for just racing, sounds like fun.
Like watered down racing, like. You don't have to invest as much. You don't have to like get in your sim rig if you're one of the hardcore race simmers. You have to like set it all up,
right?
Tune the car. I don't see that being a thing in this game. I could be wrong. Maybe they have tuning later, but I think it could be fun as just like, hey man, you want to get on to do a few races? Sure, and then.
What I'm excited about is if you take a look at this video right here, right? This is kind of interesting. You see the way the cars kind of bounce over the corners.
Yeah, they're slow.
Yeah, they've got some life to them.
They've got like finding the best line. Cars seem to slide a bit. I wonder, like, if you brake too late, if you make the turn, if there's actually that kind of implementation of race,
or race line,
technique.
Sure.
So
I also see that there's like a darkening of the track in some areas, which means if you get off the race line, you're going to lose, traction. I wonder what they're going to implement. But anyhow, it popped up because I was just reading the article off. I think this was off of Polygon, and we have a link in the description below. Yep. And you can check that out all on your own. You can guys go check it out. The thing is, to me as a racer, I immediately looked at it and I went, ooh! I was like, that's cool. I need to check it out. And who knows? Maybe we'll get the Not Your Average Show League going on in the not too distant future, because we do have a Discord, don't we?
We have a Discord, yeah.
We do.
Set up some room. I have a Discord already set up for my channel. Maybe we want to keep them separate. I don't know, but we could implement together. I don't know.
Yeah.
We could talk about it because, yeah. Let us know in the comments below if you guys are. You're into cars and racing, but this game could be kind of fun.
Sure.
And as Mike said, don't let the cutesy like facade of the game seem to turn you off to how competitive it could be. Right? Let's say back in the day when RC Pro was the thing, we were quite competitive. Let's not lie to ourselves.
You were just right? I was just going to say
lie
the
to
same
ourselves.
thing.
We're quite competitive no matter how cartoony it looked. But I guess kind of why I said down in the comments, RC Pro Reborn or updated, because I can see myself getting.
All right, so you remember RC Pro-Am, you remember the old Nintendo controller, right?
I do, yeah.
And then you remember the controller that had that little slide section in the middle?
Yeah.
And for RC Pro-Am, I got that controller just because I was like, look, I'm sick and tired of hammering directionals. I want the actual diagonal.
Yeah.
And slide through there.
I know exactly what you mean.
The second you said that, it went through my mind. I was like, oh, I remember those days.
Because remember exactly, and then we won't dwell on this too long. Remember how, just like, since it only would go left, right, up, down, there could be corners where the track is designed like
diagonal.
Kind of diagonal. And you're like, I can't make this turn exactly how I want. I have to like tap left, tap right,
hold, tap.
And that was all.
All right, it's going to be interesting to see. Hey guys, remember if you got a chance, leave a comment below, tell us what you think, and tell us if it's something that you'd be interested in purchasing or following, because we're interested in it, and maybe you guys would be too. So by all means, like, follow, subscribe, and we'll be looking for your comments. And with that said, it will be time for Corey to take us on a journey with the old folks from VDub.
VDub, you want to do VDub next?
VDub, let's. What, were you ready? Yeah, let's do VDub.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, let's do VDub.
So yeah, moving on to VDub. So in a previous episode, we talked about Power Day. So VDub was going to announce something called an event called Power Day, and we were kind of saying it was something that they hadn't really told us what it was going to be about. It seemed to be more about batteries, less about a car, but certainly more of a VDub's accelerate ideal that they're going to change the company and really all of their holdings of different auto companies towards EV or electrification. So we knew it had something to do with that, and we were kind of comparing it to, you know, Tesla's Power Day or Tesla's Battery Day. But anyway, Monday was VDub's Power Day, and basically, article week, Auto Week, was exactly kind of as we suspected. It's not so much like what cars are going to come out that are electric, but it's more about literally like the batteries, their strategy on how they're going to go with batteries, and also factories. So basically, VDub is saying, okay, we want to electrify our fleet, and not just VDub's fleet, but fleets like Porsche, Seats, you know, some of their other holdings, Skoda and whatnot.
Everybody in the house.
And yeah, everything in their holding, their group holding, really, for that. And they also want to hold the infrastructure for the supply, right? Because one thing they're saying, and a lot of the companies that are going to go electric realized, okay, we're going to make our cars battery powered. Fine. How are we going to source these batteries? VDub has decided they're going to make their own batteries in multiple factories. They've announced 6 gigafactories. They're calling them gigafactories. I know it's the same. I get it.
Yeah, throw it right at Tesla's feet.
Gigafactories, 6 gigafactories. First to go into Sweden and Germany, and with the idea they're going to make their own batteries. So going through this article and talking about watching the video, you'll see that one of what things that VDub is doing, want to make kind of a more unified platform that they can use in multiple cars, trucks, whatever they end up making. Now, if you're familiar with battery technology, you may remember going with like the sled version, right?
Right.
So there'd be like this bottom platform where there's like the battery, and then like some of the suspension in the front with the wheels, and then back wheels as well. And it was like just the very bottom of the car with the motors and the wheels, and that was like the sled. And then companies would put different tops on it, and that was. VDub's not saying they're doing that. They're saying really that the battery itself will be in any of their. And then also there'll be, let's say 80% of them, as they're initially talking about, will unified battery technology, and then maybe 20% of them will be more of a high performance kind of pack for like stuff.
If that means if they don't try to use the same Taycan switch and bait for like the Audi like they've already done. But look, it's interesting to see that they're going to at least try to make different batteries for all the models. Excuse me, a unified battery for all the models.
Yes,
that's a good thing to say.
We also speculated in our previous chat about this. We did some digging and found that, you know, VDub had some holdings in a company that was doing a lot of research in solid state, and that actually did come up in the Power Day as well. That they didn't like lay out where they're going with that, but it was mentioned that they still are working on solid state. That's their kind of like later plans for the whole Accelerate program for making electrification, and that's still on the table.
Sure. But
man, I gotta say, let me try to find it too, where it says exactly the dates for you guys.
So, and look, to add to that, this is not the only manufacturer that is looking at almost a pure EV future. Mini has just announced that they're going pure EV. There's a few others. I think Lucid is almost on the cusp. They've been around as the next Tesla engineer that has been heading up Lucid. They're on the cusp of releasing their car late 2021, which is supposed to be even better than anything Tesla has under their house. So, look, to see a major manufacturer now commit to this electrical plan almost completely is fantastic. I have a really big question, though.
2023, by the way.
2023.
Battery.
All right.
And that seems like that'll be that first, not the salt.
Gotcha. Big question. Big question is, I've been reading articles recently, and what people are saying is that this is great that we're all going to move into this electric future. However, if there's a saturation of electric cars in the next 15 years in the average homes, can we get the power grid up to speed enough that at nighttime, when all these cars are drawing the electricity that they need to charge, that we've got the necessary power in the infrastructure to supply that type of future? Because if anything lends itself towards a part of this discussion is, look at what just recently happened in all of Texas during an extreme cold spell, and looks what happens in places like California and sometimes even New York, Chicago during heat waves, right?
Yep. Any place that draws power.
Yeah, drawing power. So I'm wondering how staggered all of these introductions of electrical, batteries and things are going to take place, and how it's going to fit into our larger scale infrastructure with electricity.
Yeah, they didn't. So Volkswagen didn't talk much about that. To go on to like talking about charging the cars. One other thing in this Power Day, just so you guys talked about their plans to implement many thousands of charging sites across Europe. They are already starting to work on it, but they also mentioned in the U.S. as well. Through a company they already own in the U.S. I can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head, but what I was talking to Mike about was, okay, how is this actually going to be implemented like into the grid, like at the physical location where you buy a VW in like 5 years from now and it wants to, and they have put these charging stations in, right? Are they going to be universal plugs in the sense that is part of VW's business proposal charging station intended that only those charging stations, the products,
right,
go to and whatever, right?
Or are they be universal?
Or are they going to be something that anybody with, like some EV chargers that exist in multiple countries?
Well, because Tesla,
I don't know, because that's what we were gonna say.
Tesla does that automatically. Yeah,
and it works great for Tesla cars because you only have to compete with Tesla cars at the charger. But then again, they're Teslas. I mean, part of that, as far as Tesla's concerned, you guys aren't aware. Roll up to a Tesla charger with your Tesla and plug in and charge. You still pay for that. It's not totally free, depending on. Might be free if you had a grandfather. Anyway, if it's not, you still have to pay for it, but you don't pay for it like there at all. You just plug in, charge, and leave, because the charger recognizes the car
and automatically charges you.
Your car has an account online with Tesla already.
So, but Tesla
card on file just gets.
Quick question for you though: How long when you purchased your car, your Tesla Model 3? How long did they give you free charging for?
You only got, so when I purchased my car, you only got free charging for the life of a Model S. Bought a Model.
Okay.
Model 3, I never got free charging. You wouldn't get normally free charging. I had a referral, so I got free charging for a while, and it was a promotion, so I got free charging. That again, free charging for lifetime was for the original owner of a car.
I only say this though. I only say this in relationship because the VW ID4 allows you. I think if you're one of the first people to get one of the early adapter, model, blah blah blah. I believe you get a full 3 years of charging.
Okay.
And some of the places,
limited charging.
Yeah, and I think the difference is I think where you're going to see people making inroads against the dominance of Tesla, because let's face it, right now, Tesla's dominant. That goes without fact, right? They're doing very well, and so when a challenger comes along, they're going to have something that's Tesla-esque, which obviously VW is almost patterning their plans completely after Tesla. But secondarily, that's what they're doing, the gigafactories and whatnot. But the secondary part of that is that as they're doing it, they're going to have to do something that gives them one-upmanship, because right now the Taycan is equal if not on par, but it's a one-off, very exclusive vehicle. Their ID4s are going to fill in the VW line and so on and so forth. So they're slowly filling in their line. But they're also going to have to put in that catch to make them better than Tesla, which is
something that what can you get at VW, product of VW? Why would you choose a VW? Let's say if the prices are the same, right? Because competition will drive prices and drive competition on the market. So you could surmise at some point they're going to be equally priced.
Yeah,
right.
I would think,
especially with the different offerings, different classes of offerings. Like the Model 3 is not the same.
Interesting.
So yeah, I don't know, man. I mean,
I'd love to hear what other people think.
Yeah, maybe one thing before I kind of that is to say another thing to maybe read between the lines with them. When they say they're going to build factories, they're talking about securing the supply line.
Oh yeah,
right? Because we already are seeing and seeing that there's competition for like lithium.
Sure.
So lithium goes in the current, a lot of the current batteries that people. And there's only so much to go around, right? It's got to be mined out, and you get factories. So the fact that VW is
very
making
similar to
factories,
oil.
fact that VW's making factories, they mentioned in their Power Day that they gonna be working on the supply chain, right? And again, for multiple brands. So it's one thing to see where the knock-on effect goes with any other brands, not just Tesla, but anybody else that decides they want to. I mean, I'm talking like Panasonic and other places that make batteries that you make.
Jobby.
Other than
Jobby. How about any eVTOL?
Fine, but like anybody else who needs a battery.
Yeah, but you have to remember that means any other eVTOL is going to be in the market for the same batteries. So anyone that's right now in the electric market that's going to be competing in the same space as Tesla or wants to make things fly or wants access to these batteries, they're all in the same competition.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen, we can talk about this, different battery chemistries coming that people are working on, and we're not talking about solid state, but that's in there, but other like chemicals in because of scarcity supply. So I think it needs to be seen where the other big players, not Dub, of course, and Panasonic for that matter, other big battery suppliers, but where their chemistry goes.
You know what you say chemistry, and it's really funny because I remember, wasn't there a company a couple of years ago that tried to make a battery cell, and it was literally a battery cell that you took butane, put butane into the battery cell, and it burned a little butane flame, and it converted that to electricity to give you like the same thing as a 10,000 milliamp battery. And it's kind of interesting.
I recall something.
Yeah.
I don't know if how exactly. I can't remember it. Something about it, but nothing. I mean, obviously, converting one energy possible. How much energy you get, and
it was Nectar.
The process.
That's who it was. Okay, this is the company. It was Nectar, right? Okay. And they were using the same style thing where basically they were going to use what you're talking about, but it was going to use butane as a fuel to make some sort of heat interaction that would then charge a battery. Okay. And it was a solid oxide fuel cell that basically used that heat to go ahead and recharge itself. And I remember that it was out there because it only just came to mind because I was like, I wonder what new technologies we're going to see that might pop up, or even old reusable technologies that people have tried before, but might be more applicable on a larger scale to make some of these things happen.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking.
What's up, James?
Also, we mentioned different jet fuels.
Oh yeah,
there was that catalysts.
Right.
There was a catalyst to let's fly, but then capture some certain chemicals to convert it back into a burnable fuel.
Something like that.
We're way in the energy sector here.
Hey, it's part of the discussion.
But there you go. So I think it's going to be interesting. And really, the next 5 years or less, 4 years probably, possibly 2 3 years. VW will have a different.
Yeah, cool. Hey, remember, folks, like, subscribe, follow, and if there's something that you think we got right or wrong in the discussion, hey, do us a favor, leave a comment below. And as always, there is the link to our articles in the description, so don't remember to hit on that if you guys have any questions. With that said, I'm going to take the helm because a couple of weeks ago, I talked about a car that I'm excited to see, which is I hope to see racing someday at the Rolex or at Le Mans, something in the not too distant future, and that is Gordon Murray's T.50. Now, he has the T.50 race variant, which is also named after the famous race car driver Niki Lauda. Now, Gordon Murray's claim to fame was that he was an engineer with Niki Lauda way back in the days of early Formula One, in which he developed a racing fan that would suck out the air from underneath a chassis of a race car and give it unlimited downforce, in some cases 30% more downforce, just on that alone. And we showed you recently some pictures of the Niki Lauda version of this car, but hey, guess what? The actual T.50 has been taken out on the track for the first time with none other than Gordon Murray at the helm. And we got some video for you here. This is obviously available through YouTube as well, but just some little stuff here that if you guys want to check it out, it's actually pretty nice looking car. Good to see that it's out there in the wild. Of course, it reset the video from where I didn't want it to be. And a couple of things that they're talking about the design of the car. And it took me to the wrong video. What do you know?
What do you know?
This is the old video. The old unfair advantage
refresh
video.
The page maybe, I guess.
Yeah, this is kind of silly. So anyhow, But now I'm excited to actually see that the car is going to be out on the track. He actually got it for some laps. He got behind the wheel of it. Here we go. We'll go back to the videotape on this one. And car sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's got that Cosworth V12.
Yep.
One thing they mentioned was that they limited themselves for testing to 3,000 RPM, which, you know, it goes to 12,000. Supposed 12,000 on that engine, and I mean, we're all super excited to see and hear more. But yeah, we'll see. And
hey, look, the other part of it is that you might resent this track. It looks like the old Top Gear test track is where they actually took it out for the first couple of runs. But the car looks. Now here's the other thing though. When it's actually rolling on the track, you know what it looks a lot like?
Which side? Because the front looks like a McLaren F1 for sure.
The whole thing looks like a McLaren F1. I hate to say it.
Yeah, the front very much.
Look, the front and even the sides. It looks like a hybrid between a McLaren and the
little Ferrari in the back, maybe. I don't know.
Well, it looks like
I mean, that's a McLaren.
That's a McLaren.
Look at the front of that thing. That's a McLaren.
That's a McLaren. It is. Understood. But it's nice to see it on the track. And now the other thing is that this puts us in I guess, hopefully, in the not too distant future, we're going to see the race variant of this. And as it may produce, you know, some sort of attempt to run at Le Mans or in the Hypercar series, which would be exciting. But Gordon himself was quite excited to see the car rolling around the track.
Yep.
And it looks almost kind of F1. That's what we're saying. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Without a doubt, this car looks more like the F1. This is the engineering team that they had out there on hand. Obviously, I don't see any of the guys from Top Gear, but look, with the doors open just there in that shot, you know what? I'm going to bring that back for a second. Because if I didn't know any better at that particular moment.
You freeze that video.
Oh, come on now. Not helping me.
Just hit the space bar.
Trying. There you go. Okay. Right there in that spot, in that shot right there, that is all almost McLaren.
Ask somebody, what car is that? They'll be like, well.
That's a McLaren. I think.
But there you go.
But we've said this before.
Though. It looks good.
It does look good.
It doesn't look bad. We're not saying that.
And another thing that was really interesting in the actual video is when you look at some sections when he's actually sitting in the cockpit, these are all 3D printed components that you see, which is kind of neat. There's parts of the car that are actually 3D printed on the interior. So that's another thing to take a look at, that as they get through these prototyping processes, as things straighten themselves out. This car was very, very rough on the exterior and its panels. And some of the panel gaps were pretty huge. You can see also from this shot here that the dashboard and the way that the carbon fiber is cut on the edges, we're not quite ready for prime time yet. And that's probably another reason why they didn't get this thing up to super speed yet, because it looks like this is pretty much at the very early testing mule stages.
It's a roller with an engine.
Yeah, pretty well. At least it's rolling. And if you look here,
but you know.
Yeah, and if you look at the sides, there's some pretty massive panel gaps. And it looks like it's basically the carbon fiber body is you know, put on there, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What do you think? What do you think when we're gonna finally see this thing on a racetrack, though?
I don't know, man. I mean, so first off, you guys hadn't seen our last chat about this. It's obviously the car by Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Murray.
What?
Gordon Murray. But there's only gonna be 100 of them ever. Like they've said that multiple times. So I don't know exactly. What team's gonna pick this up? Like what? I'm also super excited to see it like on a track and like what it could really do, even like the Niki Lauda version. But what company would? What manufacturer would be just private team? Just boom, private team picks it up and is like, hey, we're gonna race this thing. And I mean,
don't know.
I guess I immediately have to think to myself, okay, let's say a team does want to pick it up and race it. The next thing that comes to mind is, okay, it's got this fan in the back, which the other car, the original car had as well, which got it outlawed.
Yeah.
So by the rules. So what? So what is gonna? I mean, what, you know? Is this just gonna be not a garage queen, but a car that's never gonna be permitted into a proper race class because it's got technology that either nobody else wants to use or gives it an advantage, or I don't know. You know what I mean? Like. I don't really know. I can't really answer your question because I don't know.
Well, here's another car
that rules, or I mean,
here's another place that's going to have that same issue, which is Scuderia Cameron Glickenhaus, which has also been taking that same approach of taking other street cars and other Ferrari models and reskinning them and so on and so forth. And they've also they're looking to take their car into the bespoke racing scene and so on and so forth. That doesn't really have, you know, like I would say the same thing. An associated customers, a racing team to go pair off with.
Right.
But I think they're in the same boat. But these guys were also instrumental in making Hypercar happen. which has also gone through its issues.
Hmm.
So I only asked the question of if it's going to make it there yet, because
kind of like a wish, but
right, fingers crossed.
I don't know. And James, yeah, he is in the middle of the car. That was one thing he was saying when he designed it.
Yeah,
he wanted to sit in the middle, bring back that middle seat, which some other street cars have had in the past too. So.
Which would be a Formula One by McLaren.
Yeah. The F1 by McLaren did have the same seat, unless I'm mistaken.
Okay, so let's just say, to put it lightly, Gordon Murray took the T50, put a fan in the back of an F1, and now basically that's what he's using. It's a new car.
I mean, it's
right.
I'm sure a lot of it's new, but
sorry, just my 2 cents.
Observation.
Anyhow, hey guys, let us know what you think about this. And look, that we every week or so we pay attention to another race car. We like to see this stuff. These are cars that we're excited to watch, to see that they actually make it to the racetrack. And if one day we could actually take a picture of them, that would even be better. While we go to the Rolex or other races. But hey, it looks like this one's coming out, and we like to pay attention a little bit to that hypercar technology. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and tell us what you think.
Yep.
And with that said, we'll move on to the final discussion, which is, well, as Corey's going to get into, it's got its own issues.
Okay, yeah. So we'll revisit, touch on a subject we've been tracking. It, as the title says, Nvidia accidentally releases drivers to un-nerf crypto mining. So if you guys remember, back, it's not too hard to remember, the RTX cards, which I'm sure everybody's aware if you're into video cards, quite good at, were touted when they came out last year as really cost effective, really big advancements in graphic computation capability for obviously gamers, but other things they ended up being good at as well. Through all that, we found out that crypto miners really like these cards as well, because they could crunch a lot of numbers, and they were more efficient in the power sector as well, how they use power. All that being said, it was hard for gamers to get hands on any of the RTX card series. Well, the 3060 card we talked about a few shows back, we mentioned that Nvidia had one thing they were going to do, was the next version of drivers was to nerf the ability for miners to use, Ethereum miners in particular, to use the 3060 as a valid platform for that. That did go out, and it was arguably not working exactly, because I heard some other ways that you just don't update the card, because it's never going to be on the internet with those servers, whatever. But anyway, it doesn't really matter, because they released some of the new Nvidia drivers, and they accidentally released a developer version which didn't have the nerf in it. Which, let's be honest, right? It's like any pictures or anything else on the internet, right?
It's
never
on the internet. It's not going to forget.
It's there now. So now any miners that had an issue with that, they just install the new drivers. Thank you, Nvidia. Now we can use our card again. And now they just never use it, never update it again. And hey, there you go. So Ethereum miners rejoice, while gamers everywhere continue crying.
Well, it's here's the funniest. This is funny and stupid at the same time, because by the time an actual gamer gets their hand on this generation of a 3080 or a 3090, it's going to be time for the next generation of the RTX cards. Because they've already been out for 6 months, and I don't know a single soul, except for James just said that
James in chat. Look at this guy.
Yeah, he's got a 3080, so maybe he just got a new computer, but he bought the new computer so he could get the 3080.
I've seen that. So James, you did what I've been reading about. You couldn't get a 3080, so you bought a computer with it, and now you have a 3080.
Now you have a 3080. So look, I
hear your logic.
I have 3 32-inch screens running at 2K that I want to push with a 3080. I got a 2080 Super in there, and I've been waiting to get my hands on a 3080. And you know what? I can't justify paying the price of a 3080 right now, or trying to buy into 3090, because it's ridiculous. But you figure the 3060, they would protect their investment, and they blew it.
Well, they said they were going to, and then that was okay. So let's put it in perspective here, guys. If you're out there crypto mining, you can mine other things other than just Ethereum, right? There's multiple types of cryptocurrency out there. So I get it right off the bat that this driver where they nerfed the Ethereum mining was for Ethereum miners. So I get it. That hash rate was limited for just Ethereum mining. But yeah, they blew the opportunity. They even tried to. We were even speculating in the beginning if this was all just a ruse to say, hey, we're trying to help you guys out, you gamers. We're trying to help you out. You can continue buying our cards because we're helping you out. Because they didn't release that hash rate limiter for the 3070, 3080, 3090. That wasn't It wasn't on those.
Wait, there's even better. Hold
But
on.
it doesn't really matter anyway, so there you go.
Here's an even better one. The Nvidia Corporation right now is going to 530.
Literally going
535.
up
It's going up because look at the top thing on the stock right now. It says 3 stocks that could benefit from crypto mining boom. So you could also think for a second.
So is this a purpose blunder?
This is a calculated release on the behalf of Nvidia to boost their stock price. Right? This could be. Maybe it isn't a nuke. Either they cash out. Okay, so did they or didn't they? Because you have to ask yourself the question, what's more important to them right now? Because if they know that they can sell a card to anyone that just wants to go crypto mining, and this person doesn't have to be a hardcore gamer, people looking to get rich probably are greater than the number of gamers out there, I would imagine. Possibly? No?
I mean, if you
Obviously,
take
you can't get one for gaming.
your well-funded miner in wherever they might be, whatever country. I mean, no joke. I just saw a video of a guy doing mining. I can't remember what it was, but he had, I think, 30 cards in a giant fish tank he made filled with mineral oil. Which, if you guys don't know, mineral oil doesn't short circuit cards. So if you want to cool electronics, you can carefully, right, in the proper way, you can submerge all those components in mineral oil and circulated properly. That's a really effective way to cool down your components.
Liquid cooling to the max.
So I guess what I'm getting there is whoever that was spent a whole bunch of money on a whole bunch of cards.
Right.
And that's one guy. So yeah, like you said, I mean,
it's just interesting.
Me, Joe, whatever my name is, gamer wants to buy a 3080. Boom, pays even overpriced. Okay, $1,500.
Mm-hmm.
These miners are paying $10,000, $20,000.
So when is it that you think a layman, because I honestly don't think a layman gets his hands on these cards until probably September, October of this year. And
I have been on the waiting list from Nvidia and Newegg actually.
For how long now?
Since turn of the year, probably.
Turn of the year. Okay, so we're already 3 months into the year. Let's just say this goes into.
Might have been earlier than that. Yeah.
Let's say this goes into July. July is 7 months, and when did these cars release? September.
Last fall,
right? Last September, October.
Exactly.
Maybe it was October.
October, maybe. Yeah, something like that.
I don't know, man. I think at one point you have to look at it from the perspective of Nvidia has the opportunity to score money in the cryptocurrency market, but they're also screwing it over their main market, which got them there, which is gamers. And you don't have stock at 531 a share unless those gamers got you there. But hey, I get it. I see.
Yeah, and James, 3,000 on Amazon. I know. Parts. I get it. I get it.
A lot of money. A lot of money involved.
The thing it's just remember, if you guys remember when the 3080, 3090, 3070 were talked about, even before the 3060s were even a thing. They were saying you get a 3080 for like $750.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like leap years ahead of. I have a 1080, and 3080 was like 6 times as fast or something crazy. It was like going to be an amazing upgrade. I was going to build my computer off the whole thing. I have yet to build a computer because
can't get the card.
Why? I'm not going to be able to complete it, so I might as well just wait.
Well, you know what? We're just about out of time here, folks. Just a reminder to you that hey, if you get a chance, drop us a comment below. We've been happy to read the comments on the Jet Up Terra piece that we did. We're happy to see the subs coming in. If you find anything else that you think we should be following, that's the same subjects that we're covering. By all means, let us know so we can continue to bring you the same stuff we do week in, week out. I got nothing else to add. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, that's it, guys. Again, as Mike said, thanks for all the support, the follows, the subs, the shares. All that stuff helps too. And remember, we do other things. We obviously do our talk on anything we're interested in, like we do today with electronics or cars or EVs or aviation or technology or games. But we also do live stuff, right? We do rocket launches live off the Cape Canaveral here on the east coast of Florida. And we've already been to a few races in person, so we'll see what else we can get up to for you guys in live. But yeah, very much appreciated, and thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody, and we will see you back here tomorrow. No show Friday, so we're going to do Wednesday, Thursday. That's our new schedule. So we'll see you back here tomorrow, roughly same time.
Roscoe says bye. He's
exhausted.
He's out. Yeah,
he's out. All right. Yep. Take care, everybody. We'll catch you later. Peace.
Take it easy.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye. Yeah.
Excellent.
Excelente.
Excelento.